bit of raisins.
My sister thought I was drunk when we started Saturday.
Did she?
I was not.
No, you
I was
just
just having
very
the time
happy.
of my life.
What's up, Nosies? Welcome to Tuesday Tales.
We're too far.
We are back again with another episode. I believe this is episode 6. Technically episode 8 or 9, but there's a few part 2s in there, so technically it's episode 6. So we got a couple of things we need to get out of the way before we get started with tonight's episode. So you want to tell them the good news?
The good news?
Yeah, I hate this thing so much.
That because
Always,
look, it makes me look like
autofocus.
blank face. I'm too
Yeah,
bright.
it's because I think that's the problem. It's the contrast. It's
It's trying to catch me and it's trying to catch you at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, your dimple.
So-
Your dimple show
Cause
up.
I cut my beard. Right.
Oh.
Something. Try it anyway.
The good news
Yeah.
that
Hey, make sure y'all say what's up when you come in so we can shout you out. Matter of fact, let me do that.
we are now over 50
Hi,
subscribers.
Yes.
On the YouTube.
Yes, on
Which means
which
that
means-
exciting things are now going to happen.
So, if you've been following us, we've been telling y'all that following and subscribing to our YouTube is important, and so that we can usher everybody into this journey, we got some things set up. So the first thing was, once we hit 50 subscribers, that I was going to visit an esthetician and get my underarms waxed. So we got a dope esthetician in mind. I did talk to her. We did discuss some things. She talked me through it. So we're gonna get it done. We're going to try to shoot it in the most respectful way to both her and her business. She gonna. What's up, Gwen?
Hey, G.
She has assured me, and I've seen her work, so I know that I'll be in good hands. And we want to go and do it so that y'all can see if this is a service that you need, whether it be underarm or otherwise, that she is the one to do it. With that being said, once we hit 150 subscribers, what we doing?
When we do, it's 150.
150, unless you want to do 100.
No, I'm good.
Look, terrible.
I'm good. I'm gonna go and get a Brazilian.
Yeah, so we're gonna take y'all and we're gonna watch her get her JJ wax.
Y'all just gonna be in the room. Y'all not watching.
Why can't we just let the people have an imagination, and then once they get there, be like, oh, I thought I was gonna see something, but now I already clicked the video to watch it, so now the view count. I try, y'all.
I don't believe in false advertising.
I don't. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go and we're gonna get that done. But we are super excited. We want to make sure we say thank you to everybody who went and liked and subscribed to the page. We also want to say thank you to everybody who entered our contest for the fruit bowls that we had, fruit boxes that we had last. We did a review on fruit on
Hey,
Creative.
Lynn.
What's up, Lynn? On Creative Fruits by Imani Rain.
Yes.
Because I called her the fruit lady last time.
Yes.
So
No,
Creative
that's-
Fruits by Imani Rain.
Thank you. That's so sweet. The whole name
Every time. So they were so dope that we decided we wanted to give some away for some of our viewers. And so 2 people won. And since only 4 people entered, I just decided we just gonna buy and pay for them and deliver them all. And so we shot a video, which is on our YouTube, of us going and delivering those boxes. So if you get a chance, go and check that out. Our YouTube page is PBNJ Hinton. Y'all go right over there. I'm gonna have her pin it, so it'll be in the comments. Y'all go check that out. The video was dope. I edited myself. It was my first editing job, so don't be too hard on me. Was it, Gwen? Was it good? Yeah, she said the box was delicious. Yeah, so ours was pretty dope too. So yeah, shouts out to the winners of that. Shouts out again to Creative Fruits, Miss Imani Rain. She did her thing. So yeah, I think
that's it.
I think that's it. I think that's all of the.
You did the morning announcements.
That's what she said. Wow. That's why you my kindred spirit,
right?
Madam. So yeah. So
I'll go pick the YouTube up.
Yeah, she's gonna go grab that YouTube, and then we're gonna pin it. So tonight, of course, our evenings is sponsored again by 1738 for me, anyway. But my baby's mama made it in this amazing.
I just got a pineapple core that I wanted to use because I was watching there's a young lady named Nicole that is on the R&B lives that they do. I believe they're actually on Tuesday nights. Earlier though, because I caught her like 2 weeks ago and she was making a pineapple Moscow mule, and she had to quarter pineapple and pulled out this amazing thing that I had never ever even thought about. And
what's up, Fred?
And I got one at Target because you can get everything you need at Target, and I got one and used it today, and it took my cutting these pineapples. Took the time down to like 2 minutes of pineapple. Pop the top off, screw that thing down in there, and pull the pineapple out. Amazing. Yeah, so those what we be drinking tonight. Just drinking out of those.
Drinking out of those. Also, if y'all would just do me a favor and just take the time to take a few seconds just to hit the share button. Tonight is mostly family friendly, so we won't embarrass you with our normal anecdotes. Tonight we're gonna be just talking about
as our relationship progressed.
Began
to transition.
Yeah.
From it just being
a fling to an actual relationship.
Real life.
If y'all would just take the time just to hit the share button. It only take a few minutes. You won't even break a sweat doing that.
On Saturday? Yeah.
What?
We should do another giveaway.
Okay, what you want to do?
We can discuss, but I think by Saturday we should have something good that we can.
So you want to pick winners for this at the end of this show, and then we'll just figure out what we're gonna give them.
No, they might not want what we gonna.
No, they take what we give them. We black parents, we don't play that. So listen, yeah, y'all stick with us to the end, and we're gonna give something away. We don't know what it is yet, but it'll be dope. It'll be dope. It may even be a gift card. You want to give away Visa gift card? What y'all think? Should we give away a Visa gift card? Pick me. Thumbs up if we should give away a Visa gift card. All right.
She giving away her discount as a prize.
Terrible.
I'll tell you about them working
I'm coming over there. My baby, hey, y'all say congratulations to my baby. She got a job. She working at Syndic's.
Her first job. She been working.
Yeah, she been working since
she had a bank account.
Forever.
Okay,
we see there go some thumbs. There go some thumbs and hearts.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll give away a Visa gift card.
You giving away a Visa gift card?
Yeah, I think that'll be dope. This time of.
You giving away one Visa gift card?
Should we give away two?
See, this is why we're supposed to talk about this early.
Yeah, but I mean, they family, they nosy. This is why they tune in, to be nosy, to be into the stuff.
No,
she say cruise?
No cruise.
Okay, so cool. All right, so
we'll do
two Visa gift cards, and we'll
don't get to the end and start doing those shenanigans that you did last.
No,
week.
I
won't.
You
gotta stick to your guns.
I won't. So
and
it's
then
only
next
gonna be
week,
winners.
Tuesday, we gonna already be in discuss what we giving away if we giving away anything. Okay.
Okay. Fine.
All right.
Fine.
I'm with it.
And again, y'all, I'm sorry about this camera thing. We
Hey, Miss Hattie.
Our
I love you. I miss you.
Our skins are so contrast that I think
my
camera
can't catch
has
us
a
both.
hard time focusing on the darkness that is me and the pure, beautiful light that is her. So I think that's what it is. It's like I can't focus. My phone is having a hard time.
I want you to get your life together.
Multitasking.
What am I supposed to be doing?
You're supposed to be getting that.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Yeah.
I'm getting
So
it.
all right. So yeah, that's what we'll do. At the end of today's episode, we'll pick 2 people, and give away 2 Visa gift cards. Also, okay.
We gotta dive on in.
All right. I am. One more thing.
Okay.
We need y'all to submit the questions. Can I win a date? Absolutely. You don't have to win that. You just call us.
Oh, you know what, Gwen? We did talk about, though, giving away dinner on us with us.
Yeah, absolutely. We did talk about that, so maybe that'll be something we'll do.
Did it come up right?
Yeah, I just pinned it.
Okay.
So yeah, you got the ends. You can just call us and we'll get it in. All right. Oh, so yeah, we need those questions. We want to do a question and answer episode.
But we probably like 2 or 3 weeks out from now.
Yeah, so
but we
you got
start
time.
collecting the questions.
Yeah, you got time just to anything you want to know about me, about her, about us, about our family, about being a blended family, about any of the episodes before, anything that you wish you did know that maybe we didn't cover. Just shoot us a inbox of those questions, and when we do the question and answer portion of episode, I should say, we'll make sure to get that covered. All right.
Now.
So without further ado,
Now you ready?
make sure y'all share. We appreciate it. All right. So we're gonna be covering in this episode the journey of our relationship going from us being
Footloose and fancy.
us being in a cheating relationship where we were both married to other people but cheating with each other, to us being divorced or separated from those relationships and deciding that we were going to move forward together. Now, I think it's important to say that the statistics say that one doesn't happen.
Yeah, I absolutely had. There was somebody that we knew in common that actually told me, like, why are you doing this? You're wasting your time. He will never choose you. And I'm like, well, right now I'm not trying to be chosen no way. So if he doesn't choose me, I'm not gonna be out here desolate. I'll be fine.
So yeah, statistics say that doesn't happen. And 2, even furthermore, statistically, we not supposed to still be together. Not supposed to work. But we had everything kind of stacked up against us. She had kids, I had kids. We're both coming from failing marriages. That stuff's not supposed to happen.
And we came from those marriages right into this relationship,
right,
which I would not ever recommend for anybody.
Right. Yeah, because it was hard, as y'all are here. But I think that it did not come without its pitfalls. Ugh, my mouth ain't working right. Shut up, punk. It did not come with all its pitfalls. I cannot say pitfalls. Jesus Christ.
You just started drinking.
I know that. It's just my mouth. Don't shame me in front of the people. All right. So yeah, but it did not come without its pitfalls.
There you
go. It was a lot of hard times, a lot of struggling, a lot of things that we went through to end up at the place we are now. So we're gonna go through that. So I think the last episode we talked about our kind of origins of where we started and how all of that kind of got together. So this week we're going to be talking about the beginning of our actual relationship together officially as a couple, leading up into us being married and the children and things of that nature. So you want to start?
So we would start with us both. We both had moved out, and we both had our own apartments. Yeah, we had our apartments.
Yeah.
Okay, and
I had an apartment that I never stayed in.
you stayed in that apartment every other weekend?
Every other week when I had my kids. When I had my kids, I would go home and stay in my apartment. I literally, like I told y'all last week, I left. All I had to my name was a bag full of clothes, and I ended up having in this apartment. I was still relatively young, fresh. I got my kids air mattresses. I had a computer. I had a TV, and I think that was it. That's all I had in my apartment. So I spent majority of the time at her house when I didn't have my kids.
I'm chewing.
Yeah. So yeah, she chewing. So let me just fill up the airtime while she chewing. So yeah,
shut up.
It was dope to me because I had never had my own space. I went from living at home with my mom to moving in and having an apartment with my ex-wife to leaving. To when I left her, I was able to get my own apartment. So having my own apartment, even though I never was there, it still gave me a sense of stability and feelings of, you know, being an adult, because I finally had something that was mine, that even though I never was there, if I had to be there, I had a place to go. That's also the site of the drug overdose that we covered in episode 2.
Yeah.
My
was that episode
apartment.
2 or
yeah,
episode 3?
I believe it was episode.
The Stripper Chronicles.
Oh, that might be episode 3. I don't know. Yeah, y'all have to go back.
That happened in his apartment while he was looking out the window.
See how she keep chewing even though she's supposed to be talking?
I asked you at 8:30 if you wanted to eat, and you gave me one of those answers. But anyway, so we living in our own spaces, and I think we went out to party one night. My sister came to my house and watched the kids.
I'm sorry, excuse my reach.
And I thought I put one over there for you. My sister came to my house and watched the kid. Well, watched my 2, and we went out. We partied. We got home late, crashed, and I woke up in the morning. Had to take everybody to school. It was a thunderstorm. I had on this what do you call those like hunting hats that had a fur on them and the long ears. Got up in the morning, put on those. I had on my pajamas, and I got me and my sister. I got my sister up. I got the kids ready to school. I put her and the kids in the car, dropped them off at school, dropped her off at home, came home, and I was sick because we had drunk so much. Yeah. And I took my birth control, but I was sick and ended up throwing up. Yep.
Oh, I forgot that's how that happened.
I was like sick for 2 days. But when I took that birth control pill, I threw up. And the next month I didn't have a period. Yeah. So me and my friend Season we stayed in the same condo complex, and my condo is down here, and like I could literally walk to her condo in like a minute. And so we were pregnant with our first kids together. Lisa and Chelsea are 2 months apart, August and October. So I was at her house, and I'm devastated because I'm like, my period is late, and she like, girl, my period late too. And I'm like, you lying. She was like, no, I'm so serious. And I'm like, you lying. She's like, no, serious. So we got some tests, took the test, and found out that, and both tests came back positive. I took like 3 more tests because, of course, something was wrong with this one, and they all came back positive. So I was knocked up. At this time, though he was out and living in his own apartment, he was still legally married.
Yeah.
Still legally married. I was officially divorced at that time. What else? What comes after that?
So we so she's pregnant. So once we find out she's pregnant, we literally decide like, okay, we need to get an apartment together.
Because we hemorrhaging money at this point.
I'm paying rent, she paying rent. We got a baby coming, We got kids we taking care of, and it's a lot of money. So we wanted to consolidate, and what you'll find is we did that a lot. That's probably how we ended up getting married. So we ended up getting an apartment out in Brown Deer, big enough for both of our families. When you go into these type of things, you just expect them to work and expect them to just be very smooth. But what we found was that we didn't really have sufficient discussions.
Lynn, I'm eating chimichangas. I have steak, chorizo, and chicken.
Not doing what it's supposed to be?
It's not loading by itself. I think it might come. It might happen after the pen.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because it was loading before that.
Yeah. So I did think I touched it though.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. So we decided to get an apartment together. So we move in together. She's pregnant. I don't know how she is when she's pregnant.
I was extremely sick with this pregnancy, and for the longest time in the beginning, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. They just knew that I was sick, and everything that they would test for this, test for that, and it wouldn't be this and it wouldn't be that because I wasn't having any symptoms of what it actually was.
It was gestational diabetes. Right?
No, it wasn't.
No?
It wasn't. It was it a UTI or bladder infection? It was something, but it was like I was just physically ill. And it was either, I want to say it was a UTI or a bladder infection, but I wasn't having like any pain when I peed. I was just sick.
Right. And so for me, I'm used to fun her. I'm used to carrying her. I'm used to my partner in crime.
He's used to me with 2 kids.
Sure.
And they go with their daddy or mama.
Right.
Or my mama every other weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, Jules.
And so when she was with me, she didn't have real life cares, real life worries. It was just me and her.
I did, but when you are in an infidelous relationship, that person becomes the getaway from those things.
Right,
so we're not getting together discussing bills and busting down what the issues of our house or how we gonna divvy this stuff up. We're just getting together after I took care of business. Now it's time for fun.
Right. So to me, it took getting used to. Like, there's one story we talk about all the time when we moved in together.
You talk about because you raggedy.
So one day I'm asleep. I had worked.
You had partied.
Did I party?
You went out.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever happened.
Partied and you was
I slept later into the morning, so I was awakened by aromas of pancakes, eggs, bacon, sausage, just all of the best breakfast foods you can imagine. I'm smelling. I'm like, see, this is why she gonna be my lady forever. So I'm there, and I wake up. You remember those old Folgers commercials when they would open up the Folgers and everybody,
best part of waking up.
Everybody would wake up. So I woke up. I'm ready. So I wake up and I look over off the side of the bed. She's sitting on the floor
watching Maury,
watching Maury Povich
smash
with a huge plate.
It was one of the few days that I was able to eat. Because I was usually so sick and I felt so bad. But this morning I woke up and I could eat.
She got a huge plate. So I'm like, yeah. So I get up, I walk in the kitchen, pop the microwave, because that's normally where she leaves my plate. Ain't no plate in there. I'm like, all right, it might just be in the oven. So I open the oven up, oven cold. I'm like, maybe she took the plate in the room with her. She gonna pull it out of nowhere like Burger King.
Sneak King.
Like, no. I go in there, I'm like, where my food at? Swear to God, almost the exact thing she said to me was exactly the same thing the mama off Friday said to Craig when he was like, where mine? She was like, I didn't make you none. You better go make your own. So I was
devastated.
It was like seeing perfection imperfecting. So it was like she was perfect to me, but then I saw imperfection. Like, why wouldn't you? I mean, you standing right there. Crack 3 more eggs. It's the same thing. So, but I wasn't taking into consideration, one, that she was pregnant, and two, she wasn't able to eat, so she was just trying to feed herself. But it's nothing like waking up to the smell of breakfast and there's none for you. None. You end up eating Captain Crunch. It was terrible. So she's pregnant. We are living, all of us, in this house together. Which the apartment was really nice, I think. We had a really nice apartment.
That's where the mop monster
came from. We had the apartment was really nice. So we tried to separate girls and boys in rooms, which didn't work because our kids were fundamentally different. And they had just started getting into all kind of trouble. Like one morning we slept in and the kids got tired of waiting on us to make breakfast. And so our oldest 2 daughters at the time, they had to be like, I want to say 8. Mm-hmm. 8. One of them gets on the other's neck and gets in the cabinet and gets the oatmeal. Now, instant oats? I don't know. Whatever they did, they made oatmeal for everybody.
Yeah.
But they didn't cook the oatmeal
all the way.
So it was like still.
Like they made oatmeal for 6 people, but they only cooked it the time that you had to for 1 serving. So it was still soupy. They had sugar in it. They had butter in it, and they loved it.
They 20 now.
19 and 20.
19 and 20. I don't know. They still don't like to cook. Well,
Michelle, no, that's not true. Melissa cooked too.
Yeah.
She cooked like you.
Sparingly?
No, it's a travesty.
What you mean?
Oh, you don't clean behind
I do. You can't say that.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
We absolutely will, because I have been making a
I'm talking about now. You've been making an effort, but I'm just talking about
the face.
That's the face for that oatmeal.
Yeah, but listen. To this day, they swear to God that was the best oatmeal. I will call her up right. Any of the kids.
Live oats in soup.
And they swear,
a butter sugar marinade.
They swear right now that was the best oatmeal they ever had. So they just was getting in all kind of stuff. So we had to kind of change the configuration of who
because
slept
he
where.
had 2 girls and 2 boys.
Yeah,
I had a girl and a boy, so we just figured we had a 3-bedroom, put the girls in here, put the boys in there. But our kids are just fundamentally different.
Yeah, they're different.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work, so we had to figure it out. But we did. So we lived there for a little while, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but we started really, falling on hard times. I believe that's when I left Foot Locker, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
So we started really having difficulty. So we ended up getting evicted out of our spot. I'm so sick of this thing.
Yeah.
We ended up getting evicted out of our spot.
Here come little lady.
Here she comes.
Let's keep talking.
We ended up getting evicted out of our spot. Evicted. And so my kids ended up going back with their mom, Sugar Soup.
No, they was going back every other weekend. You didn't get out of court and get that split visitation until we moved.
Right. No, that's what I meant. I was still going every other weekend.
Yeah, you was going every other weekend. And when they would come for their weekend, about after we got evicted.
Yeah, they would go to your mom's. That's right.
We would go to your mom's for the weekend.
That's right. So
we got evicted.
Yeah.
I went home to stay with my mom and my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And he lived in his van. In the driveway.
In my van.
Because he didn't want to be too far away from me when I was pregnant. Crib. Because he could have went and stayed with his mom in West Bend. But I was pregnant and he didn't want to be too far away. Mm-hmm. So he literally lived in his car.
I was
Tell that story of you and mom when you lived in the van in the driveway.
Her mama would not allow
my parents.
Because her mama stayed downstairs, her pop stayed upstairs. So there wasn't because we were not married. Why is this? I'm so sick of this thing. I don't know what to do. Because we weren't married, it wasn't cool for me to stay with her. So I ended up. I had a minivan that I got out of my. That's a whole nother story. So I was staying in my van.
We can tell that when we tell about how we got married. He was a gangster for our family. But yeah.
I was staying in my van
down by the river, Glenn. Only out in Pauline's driveway.
Yeah. So I would hang out in the house all day or whatever I was there. Have fun with playing cards, and then once it was bedtime, she took her kids and they went and did her thing, and I would leave and I'd go right out to my van, and my
sister would charge her laptop and you would take that and you could watch
that's right.
Movies.
I watched movies until that absolutely happened.
Yeah.
And so I would go sleep in the van, and every morning her mom would come out to the van and wake me up, and then bring me in the house and make me breakfast. So, which was super dope. So we did that for a little while until we finally found a place that was suitable for the entire family, which we actually moved in earlier than we wanted to because the house wasn't finished. They hadn't even put in floorboards yet. Mm-hmm. But we had to get out of that situation. So we ended up moving. We got into a house. House was big enough, had enough bedrooms that we can have everybody in their respective spaces.
We still tried boys and girls.
Did we try that first?
That's where.
So
that's where all of us had to get busy.
Here is what happened that got the
because
boy.
We had been we are two completely different people.
Right.
We were raised completely different, and the environments that we had our children in were completely different. My children are like, namaste.
My kids are nuck if you buck. And so, but that's what I knew because, like I told y'all in other episodes, I've been raising kids since I was 8 years old. My mom, when she would work, I was literally at home with my younger brother and sister, doing homework, making dinner, making sure people was showered and taken care of. So I only knew to raise my kids the same way I raised them. And so I wanted them not to have fear because we grew up in a bad neighborhood. We grew up in the middle of ghost town. So you wasn't finna be out and be scared of people. You wasn't finna be out and have people bullying you. So they would fight, and I would let them fight. I make sure that he didn't hit her, but I made sure that they rumbled a little bit so they would know what it feel like to get in action.
We weren't fighters. My children were taught to use their words.
Yeah.
If something is happening that you don't appreciate, you voice that, and people should respect what you are saying. Where's Ghost Town, baby?
So Ghost Town is in the 53206 area. So it's like from 33rd down to like 18th between, I want to say like the Center and Brown, maybe in there, right in that little area. So
we put the boys in the room.
The boys are in the room. So
the girls were pretty okay at that age. They were young. They were pretty okay, but the boys, like the little one, he was a baby. He was still sugar sweet back then. But that oldest boy, he was a wild boy.
Yeah, wild boy. So.
So I don't know what they was in there having a dispute about, but my poor baby was trying to use his words, and his son. By the time we got to the door of the room, he was chasing my child. Now my child is namaste. I'm nuck if you buck. And before I knew it, I was he chasing my son. I'm chasing his son. Hold up!
I'm standing at the door.
Somebody got to break this up. He like let him fight it out. Let him fight it out. We don't fight. He don't have to fight at home. home is the one place that he's safe and he don't have to fight.
Oh yeah, we
you got
actually,
me messed up.
We
I flip all this over.
It was so funny because to me, I didn't. It was natural. That's what we did. Like my brothers roughed me up, my cousins roughed me up. Like it wasn't no running. It wasn't like we literally opened the door, and my one son, who is now, he couldn't be no more me than if he came out of my balls himself. He is gangster to the core because it took a lot for me to be able to tell her, like, you can't raise him like this.
It took me seeing him being chased around.
That's exactly,
and figure out what we was gonna do about this, because your mama will go straight to jail. We open the door. He is yelling at the top of his lungs, running.
My other son is chasing him, and she jump in, and so they chasing each other around in a circle like an Acme cartoon. And I'm at the door dying. I'm like, let them fight it out. She like, no, home is where you're supposed to feel safe. Yada yada yada. I'm like, oh my God, no. So, man, if y'all, we'll get into it.
After that,
I was the best thing that ever happened to that boy.
After that, I signed him up for boxing.
Yeah, now he a killer. Now he just go out in the middle of the night and beat people up.
He takes his. We moved over here to this neighborhood 3 years ago.
Look at this nigga.
This
look
son that was running back then had his friend bring the boxing gloves over and went out into the field down the street from our house and fought everybody. Whoever wanted to put the gloves on, put the gloves on.
Then taped it and put it on the internet.
Yeah, and taped
of him embarrassing.
It should be coming up sometime soon.
I believe.
It's summer.
I believe. Didn't he beat up his daddy?
His dad wanted to put the gloves on. But we can wait until that story back when we tell the slapping story of 2010.
So we had to change the configuration of how we, house everybody. Which it worked out.
Yeah.
The kids, swear to God, that's the funnest house
they had the best fun
ever
of their life at that house. They had no idea that we was poor, that we was scraping change together to feed them, that we didn't know where they was going. There were days where we didn't know where they was going to get it, that God just had to provide. They have no idea, because when they look back, they had the most fun.
Much stuff. Like I remember this was back when the video stores was open, like what Hollywood Video, those, and I was a DVD collector, so I would go and just take piles and piles of DVDs to sell them, so that we can get $20, $30, $40 to be able to feed the kids. We would go and like we'd be searching through the couches and looking for change. We would gather change up and then take it to the grocery store
and drop it in the coin
put it
machine.
in the coin machine and get the money so that we can make groceries. So it was, I think that's why we are so, now that life is a lot better, we're so grateful, and that's why we're always, finding a reason to give money away, or doing giveaways, or just trying to make somebody's life easier, because life can get hard.
Nobody had any idea.
Nope.
That these
right now
things
to this
that was
day,
happening. I had one friend who, at one point, found out that we was kind of struggling and got my friends together. Rashonda, went to GG.
Look at I knew he was gonna do that.
Look, he fell and he landed on his feet.
That's what he get. Move that chair up so he. Stupid.
So he can tell the couch from the chair.
He's so stupid.
She got my friends together and they all combined some money and gave it to us.
Yeah. So we was going through it. We was going through it, and a lot of people didn't know. I remember we didn't have no car. We was walking miles in the freezing snow to get to the grocery store just to get a loaf of bread and 2 packs of hot dogs to be able to feed the kids. It was just it seemed so crazy during that time. But when you look back on it, you understand the character that it built.
Absolutely.
To who we are now. And so we I think she started working for unemployment, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was working for unemployment. When I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm. And so I was still unemployed, and I remember her calling me one day and saying, "You should." I just looked at this job because I was applying for positions, and it just nothing was working out.
Isn't it ironic that I ended up with the job that I have now? Because I was always really good at that stuff, like writing resumes and like wording them and all that. That's dope.
So yeah, she.
Sherelle had a question. I want to make sure we don't lose it. Okay. Which child adapted the best and the worst with each other and with each parent? The kids initially all adapted really well because if you go back, you know that we all came from the same place, so our kids knew each other. And back then, they were little kids. Like 9 was the oldest. Our girls were 8 and 9, I think, when we got together, and it was like they got to hang out with their friends. They didn't get tainted until they got older, and the adults were telling them things and saying things to them like, she stole your daddy. You can't steal a grown man. Or, when you have somebody who is toxic in the situation, that is a part of the team that is raising these children, then you have extra problems that you don't really have to have. The kids were good when they were little. When we hit middle school, one of the kids choked one of the other kids at school. And it was while that child was out of our home. They were doing they were doing weeks back then. 1 week with us, 1 week at home. But our home was more stable. They had clean clothes. They had their necessities were taken care of, and when they would leave, it wouldn't be the same. So to watch somebody that's living at your other house that is still having a decent life when you're young, you become angry. And so they had a dispute at school. Well, not even a dispute, because the child that got choked at that time was never having a dispute with anybody.
Yeah, it was showing out, trying to fit in with the wrong crowd. She was an awesome person now. Probably the best child we have.
Is the kid that when they told us in 5th grade that, we think she's slow, or we think she's gonna need this, she's gonna need that. That child turned into the child that we never had to worry about doing her homework. She was a stellar high school
self-starter.
Student. By 8th grade, she had started to become who she was going to be.
They literally called me down to that school to have a meeting.
The man with the little hands.
Putting my daughter in learning disability classes. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with her. I know this. It's something y'all doing. And like literally once, because they went through the entire year without a full-time teacher. Was that before or after?
That was at Kluge that the man told us that.
Oh, well.
That happened that the year before, because when we separated when we got the kids together, we put them all in that school because I didn't want your kid, because your kid's mom was leaving. As soon as the divorce was final, she was leaving.
Right.
And as soon as the divorce was final, she was leaving and going to Chicago, and was like, it was your turn, you need to keep the kids. So we took the kids full time at that point.
She literally dropped the kids off like,
here they go, Ike. Go with your kids, Daddy.
Yeah.
But I didn't want them to lose their mom and have to change school. So I took my kids out of their school and put them into the school over there on North Avenue.
No.
The school on North Avenue that they went to for a year. That's where the girls had that classroom they never had.
Yeah. Right on 35th and North Avenue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, then they left there and went to Kluge. That's what I was saying. They had a whole year they didn't have a full-time teacher.
And I want to say for those kids, it was that 4th grade year. For them.
So then she went into 5th grade with little hands. She wasn't prepared like everybody else
was used to going to school and hanging out.
So
because they didn't have a teacher in 4th grade.
But she literally went through. She's I think she was like a 3.8 student in high school. College, went to Alcorn State. What do you say?
What I want to do with 2 more kids?
Man, listen, bro. I swear that's it. But we just had to roll with the punches because she just decided that she was leaving.
I'm going to school. It's your time.
No, she went to Chicago.
Yes, and that's when she went to school.
She went to school. That's right. So she just decided she was leaving.
Yeah.
So we had the kids full time. That's when I went down there to file for child support, and the judge asked her, what do you think you could pay? After telling me I was going to pay almost $1,000 in child support on my earning potential. Same judge. So, but Alcorn State, just a brilliant student. She is,
and a brilliant entrepreneur.
She got her daddy hustle. She'll find a way to get $1. So we super proud of her. But yeah, it was just trying to mesh them together. So I think the answer to the question would be
with the kids. Their mom has always been divisive in her methods for dealing with us and dealing with them. So whatever seeds she can plant to have turmoil in our home, she's always done that.
Correct.
For my ex-husband, one of the things that I can say is that he may not have been the best dad, but when it comes to making sure that I can communicate with him, and if we have a problem, we can call him. He's come and sat and met with us to deal with problems. Mm-hmm. When he has an issue, he'll call me. He's not talking to my kids about him, not talking to my kids crazy about me. So it's been an easier road for them to be able to connect to him. And like my son, I think, is the one kid who hasn't been all over the place. He kind of bought into the system and stayed with us majority of the time growing up. My daughter, as girls do, you want to be a daddy's girl and you want the attention from your father. So she was always kind of back and forth, and if she didn't get the attention, we would have to have a meeting and just that type of stuff with her. So this is dad, and that's dad too. With the 4, I'm not the type to be aggressive and force relationships. My job coming into this was to make sure that I provided for them. When they're in my home, they're provided for. They don't have worries that are not child worries, that they're taken care of. Those relationships have absolutely developed over time. And my girls are my girls and my sons are my sons. And that's it. We are at a stable place now, but it didn't come without some battles, which we'll probably get into later. We'll have to tell that story.
What, the phone story?
When they told them girls, when they told when the mama and the grandma got together and told your girls that I stole you.
Oh yeah.
And how that led to a rocky 3 months.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So we are in our new house and she's pregnant. She tells me that I should look into this job working at a bank. So I apply for it. I go in and ace the interview and get the job the same day. So now we both working. Things are starting to loosen up a little bit as far as financially. But it just, everything is so chaotic because now we have.
When we was poor is when we were engaged, when you proposed. Joe! He coming to get you.
Hey! Shut up! He's so hard-headed. So, so you want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
So, here's how we ended up.
Real quick, how did you propose?
I proposed in the middle of, was it Potawatomi?
Potawatomi, the same place we went after.
Yeah, so we was at Potawatomi, and
just walking through.
Just walking through.
It was poor.
But do you remember why that ended up happening, though?
I don't.
We decided that we needed to file for bankruptcy.
No, the proposal came way before
Did
then.
it?
Nathan DeWarante happened after we was on, after Justin.
Okay, so so we walking through Potawatomi, and I'm thinking to myself like, because I told her I'm never gonna get married again, just because it was such a bad experience.
And what did I tell you?
And what did you say?
I'm a wife.
Yeah,
I'm a wife, so I know
I've heard
whether you marry me or not, I'm gonna be somebody's wife.
Y'all hear that? That's a threat.
That's not a threat. You were stating that was really early on. We had that discussion. I'm a wife.
I get
They're
it.
not gonna leave me out here.
I get it. So we walking through Potawatomi, and I'm thinking like, I really like this girl, and we were still.
You still living out your way?
Yeah, we would. I just knew I wanted to be with her, so I just stopped in the middle of Potawatomi and proposed getting married, and so we were engaged.
I was extremely unsure of because I was pregnant, and I didn't think that was the best idea. Like, who wants somebody to marry them because they knocked up? No, thank you.
So,
thank you, Joe.
So, so I proposed in the middle of Potawatomi. So we were, technically engaged.
Yeah.
But I think I was still technically married, right? Yeah, because oh my God, in heaven.
Oh God. Nope, ain't nobody going there. You confused. What you confused about, Dante? Because we are kind of jumping around.
Yeah, let's clear it
We
up.
going up and then being like, oh yeah, and then coming back some. So we got I'm a wife. You were pregnant she was pregnant by me, and don't ever use that name in public again, G. I'm not playing with you, bro. I was pregnant by him. I got pregnant by him one drunk night at band camp.
Yeah. It was I'm the pappy.
I hadn't slept with my husband in years.
I'm the pappy. It was me.
My ex-husband. I hadn't slept with him in years.
She's pregnant. We living in this house. We finally getting things together. We are officially engaged. Mm-hmm. So, but like I said, things were really we trying. But
then we went back and answered that question about the kids. That's what got us.
All right. So I'm finna give y'all a recap. A real quick recap. So we got divorced.
I got divorced.
She got divorced. I was separated.
Out.
We both moved out. We lived in separate.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, brother.
No, I mean, if you want to do it, you
just
can help yourself.
Just come on.
All right, man, this freaking camera irritating.
Ooh.
All right, so.
Hey, Rita.
What's up, Rita? So we moved out, then into separate places. Then we moved in together. We got evicted from that place. She moved in with her mom. I lived in my van. Once we got out of that situation, we moved into another house together. After we was in that house together, she was pregnant.
Pregnant and working for unemployment.
And working unemployment. Then I started working at the bank.
Okay.
So now that's where we are. Oh dang. Dang. Well, it is what it is.
Aww, just wrap
My
up.
fasting alarm just came on, so I can't eat no more because I'm talking to y'all. Ooh, it's gonna be tough. All right, so then she pregnant, and now we both working, so everybody's caught up. So now, she is pregnant, and life is getting kind of stressful. My ex-wife leaves us with the kids, so now we got all of the kids. And we are, right?
Yes.
So,
hey, Monty.
we ended up going through
11 years in September, Lynn.
Yeah. So we end up going through the pregnancy, find out we having a boy, figure out his name, and things are just starting to really kind of gel a little bit.
But I never bought anything.
This is true.
I didn't buy anything, and that was extremely strange because I don't know why. We went and like picked stuff out, like looked at strollers, looked at cribs, looked at everything, but I never bought anything. He'd be like, "Well, you want me to get it?" I'm like, "No, we just wait." And we just waited and just waited and just waited. I mean, literally until the end,
right.
Because we had a scheduled C-section.
Right. So we got the scheduled C-section,
which was going to be on Valentine's
Day. So we would have had a Valentine's Day baby, a Halloween baby, and then my birthday is on the 4th of July. So we'd have had that going.
Right.
So
your divorce was finally over in January. So in January we went to having the kids week to week. I remember that because in all my mess, what would have been the worst thing ever for me was for y'all to still be married and for me to pop this baby out. So that was really big to me, that the divorce was final before I had my son. So January that happened, cool, we good. But the day of the divorce, we came home and our house had flooded.
Oh.
We walked in and that basement was flooded. Yeah. That thing had broke.
So, see, that's how we keep getting off track. You keep mentioning.
So we here.
So
and the I'm pregnant. You finally divorced. We went week to week with the kids, which immediately ended up being full time because she left and went to Chicago, and we took the kids full time. We pulled my kids out of school, put them into school with your kids, our older kids. The fourth graders never had a teacher that year. They just kept pulling in different substitutes that wasn't teaching anything.
So we need to try to make sure we stick into main topics.
Just shut up.
All right.
Really, with all the stuff that you say?
I'm just saying. I get.
You see how fast I'm talking?
All right.
You
Help
don't
yourself.
even know what you're
Help
doing.
yourself.
Shut up.
Help yourself.
And where else we going?
Well, where you taking us?
Well, you just interrupted me, so you must have it. I'll slap that pineapple on the floor. You know I'll do it. Come on.
What?
Where we going?
Oh, okay.
You
so
drive.
what I'm saying is, I'm trying to
drive. This is you talking too much. This is you talking too much. Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna try to stick to the main stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell y'all what color socks I had on June 17th. So she's pregnant. We're going through the pregnancy. Find out it's a boy. We give him a name, and he's due the 14th. So a couple days before the scheduled C-section, I remember she had a doctor's appointment. But my oldest son had gotten suspended from school. So did you not make it, or did you have to take him?
It was a week before. I was doing, because I was high risk, I had 2 appointments per week where they would just listen to him.
Okay.
And the first appointment that week, which would have been that Tuesday, I missed because he was suspended all week and I didn't want to take him with me.
Sure.
So then I was like, I'll just go Thursday. We can get everything set up for Saturday. That's what happened. So I took him with me on Thursday.
All right. So she goes to, the night before, you remember you were saying you couldn't feel him moving. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. I think I was supposed to go get that mask. The night before, I was supposed to, she was complaining that she couldn't feel him moving. He wasn't moving. So I'm like, and he was a very active baby. So I'm feeling her tummy. I'm waiting to feel a kick or move. I don't feel nothing. So that entire night, like I'm praying for her stomach. and like I'm holding on to hope. Did we talk about that?
What?
Going into the C-section and stuff?
What about it?
The whole thing.
What you mean talking about?
Oh my God!
I just said
Never
having a
mind.
scheduled C-section. Did we
No,
talk
I'm talking about
what?
on different on previous episodes.
No, the first time we mentioned him
I feel
was
like
last episode.
I feel like okay. So anyway, so we she goes to the doctor the next day, and I remember being at work and I'm nervous and working, but I'm super nervous. I don't hear from her, and I remember her walking. I worked at the Landmark Credit Union inside of Midtown, so I remember her walking inside of the Walmart doors, and she had on a hoodie, and she had the hood pulled tight. And when she walked in, I instantly knew what it was. And so it's this face that she makes when she like holding back tears. So I instantly knew what it was. I instantly went to talk to my boss and say, hey, something is wrong with the baby. I need to leave. So I end up leaving work and I'm going home and I'm praying because like you can't get me to believe this until I see for myself. I gotta see it for myself. So the doctors had scheduled the C-section for like a week out or something like that. I think
he was gonna still keep it scheduled for the 14th, so he was having it 2 days later.
So
this was the 12th.
Right. So I'm like, no, we need to get it done right now because you can't tell me my son dead and we not go investigate this. So we're calling the doctor. We finally get it scheduled for the same day. So we
have to figure out what to do with the kids because we got everybody. I called my ex, and through further negotiations, was able to get him to come get my kids.
And I think it took mine out to mom.
You called your mom. Your mom came down to our house.
Yeah. So we go in, and like this moment is so crazy. Now we were supposed to go on the 14th, so it's the 12th. We are in this sterile delivery room, and everybody's got on, the scrubs. They got me all scrubbed up, and out of all of this pain and anguish and sad time that we're going through, this chick right here takes the opportunity to apologize to everybody in the operating room because we were there 2 days early.
I thought I had 2 more days.
And she thought she had 2 more days to make sure that her vagina was hairless.
I hadn't seen my vagina in a couple months.
So she's apologizing to everybody in the operating room because she didn't shave her vagina. And they telling her it's okay. She like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. I know what it probably looks like, and I deeply apologize. I'm like, why is you worried about that right now? But this is what she worried about. So we, they got the little blanket up, separating her in half. I'm up there with her and the anesthesiologist. And I remember them, it was a chalkboard that they was writing stuff on. And so when they finally pulled them out, they wrote, the weight. They wrote, all of the different stuff. And I remember the last thing that they wrote was deceased. And it was in that moment that it became real to me because I had been holding it together this entire time because that's just me. I got that much faith because I'm like, I'm not giving up until the last minute. And so I remember they wrote it on there. So then they took them away and got them cleaned up or whatever. And they moved us back to a room.
And for me, it was different because I went to that appointment because they I go to these appointments. They strap these things around my belly. They listen to his heartbeat for 10, 15 minutes.
She said they do it for you if you ask nicely.
Oh, I didn't have time for that because he was waiting.
Yeah.
I went to went in, they strapped me up, and they, I've done this 2 times a month. 2 times a week for the last 3-4 months. So it was like clockwork. They strapped me up. They hear his heartbeat when I'm resting. They do some things to my belly to make him, to see what his heartbeat is like if he's stressed at all, and then I leave. Only this time they couldn't find his heartbeat. So they tried and tried and tried. The nurse went and got somebody else and had them come and had them try. They couldn't find it. They took me through all of these back hallways out at, where was it? Through all of these back hallways.
Was it at Freighter?
It was at Freighter, the Medical College of Wisconsin. Yeah. Through all these back hallways, took me to an actual, where I could get to the sonogram, so that they could go in and physically see him. And they could see him, and he was there. They just couldn't find his heartbeat. Yeah. And so, and then the whole time I'm dragging Jay right along with me.
Yeah.
I'm dragging him with me.
So,
and it took all I had to get to you. Hold myself together and drive back across town.
Yeah.
To get to you.
And so we literally they deliver the baby, and they take us back to her room, her recovery room. And so we're in there, and I'm in this point I have to say that I was in shock, because like I knew I had to be mentally tough and strong and hold it together, because at that point it didn't dawn on me that I was losing a son. I just knew that I had to be there for her because she lost her baby. Because I didn't have time. What's up, bro? I didn't have time to deal with my own stuff, because I had to make sure she was all right. And so I remember they came in and talked to us and asked us, did we want them to bring the baby in? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And it's crazy that it did not really get me until they brought the baby in. They brought this lifeless baby in. He huge. I think he was huge. And he looked like me. And I'm holding him in my arm, and he lifeless, and I'm holding him. And then it became real, and I just broke down. I'm crying, and it's just it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. So I think that because we had so much going on in that period of time, we did not have...
There was no grieving.
There was no grieving time. We literally got done with that, left the hospital.
My doctor set it up so that I could stay until Sunday.
Yep. And
you were back and forth to the house to make sure your mom and the kids were good. Yep. I left the hospital Sunday night. Monday morning, I got up and took my kids to school so that he could get some sleep. And later on Monday afternoon, we went to start planning the funeral.
We went to plan we had a memorial because we had him cremated. And so we went and did that. Shout out to Krause Funeral Home. They did everything for us and made it really dope. So we literally did that, had the memorial service, and then it was like we didn't have time to mourn or to properly deal with our grief. We had to get right back to life. So for her, she started slipping into depression, and I believe he was drinking really heavy.
Oh yeah, I was drinking super heavy. So we had the funeral that following Friday, and I remember we had the memorial, and I remember coming home, going downstairs to my room, and getting right in the bed.
And she stayed there for a while.
I remember after that, like, I was still off because you get 6 weeks off. And so I was getting up every morning, taking the kids to school, and I would come home and I would go in the kitchen and I would drink vodka, and the house would be completely quiet, and I would drink vodka and look out the back window. And I did that for maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And when I went back to see my primary, because I saw my gyno, my OB, but when I went back to see my primary, we talked about it, and they're like, oh, well, you're depressed, we need to give you something. So they gave me these pills that I took for, I didn't take them for that long. I couldn't take them because they would, I would take them and it would be like the lights came on and everything would be super bright and the colors would be brighter, and it was like weird because like I could, like, all of that was obvious to me, but I didn't feel any different. And then I would be with him and I'd be like, my colors are turning down. And like it would be, everything would be getting darker and dimmer, and like my brain, I could feel my brain like snapping. It's a synapse. And I could feel that, so it was really awkward. So I stopped taking those, and I drank probably up until it was time for me to go back to work. Like, heavily drank. I would take my kids to school. I would come home, get a glass of vodka. I would stand. I would look out my back window. And I think that's when me and Joanna Keys, that's when we got close. She came. She would like be checking for me, and like, well, I know you don't want to leave the house, but you know you could come and hang out with us on Facebook. And that's when I met Landry, Travis.
So that was her way of coping. My way of coping is the same way it's always been. I just find a empty space and I just shove it away. And I didn't realize how detrimental that was until everything started spilling out. What was the COD? What you mean, bro?
Cause of death. We don't know. We don't know.
Don't know.
We didn't
do an autopsy or anything like that.
Yeah, we didn't go into
it. So I just tucked it away because that's what a man does.
And the whole time, neither one of us is taking into account that the other one, because like we both got hit, and it's like, you know how what is it? They throw those things in, and they dang, I was just watching Queen of the South, and they threw this thing in the house, and it was a loud bang. Flashbang. It was like a flashbang, and you can't hear anything. Your vision is shaky. You're unaware of everything that's going on around you, and you're only aware of what's happening right here. But we're both like that, so like we drifting farther apart because we are self-consumed. And self-absorbed.
And I think that like you always expect somebody to handle something how you handle it.
Right.
You always expect somebody to feel about any given situation the same way you feel, or deal with it the same way you deal with it. So for me, I tucked it away. Life gotta keep going. Things gotta keep moving. Things gotta keep progressing. We still got other people we need to take care of. We still got, money to make. We still gotta do all of these things. We don't have time to fall down here. So just tuck it away. Whereas she and unbeknownst to me, she is falling apart.
Yep, I went back to work a week, or I got them to okay me to come back to work a week early, and ended up losing my job because I was crazy.
Yeah, it just became, things just began to just kind of dismantle. Then we started.
But we were still outwardly, it still looked like we were, to everybody else, it looked like we were still living life. We were still showing up.
Showing up to events.
We were still performing.
Hanging out.
We were still doing. The kids were still in order. The house was still taken care of, and they were provided for. And
we doing like this.
We even
like this.
So even if we was gonna go all the way up to the marriage, right?
Yeah.
So not the actual wedding. You can have your own episode for that. But we so in the midst of all of this, we ended up going through his van that he had, which was our primary source of transportation for everybody. Was the van that he got during the divorce. He got the van and she took his car.
I got
player move.
Funny
player
joke about
move.
that.
She took the new G6. He got the minivan. But whoever had co-signed for the van filed for bankruptcy, and the van ended up being tied up in that. At this time, we had considered filing for bankruptcy. So we went to go see the guy. And like he was going to file and I was going to file.
Right.
And we go and we meet with Nathan DeLaurante, and he is like...
No. You know what happened? She got the car and I got the van.
Right.
She ended up... remember... I had to get my name off of that car because I was still paying both those car notes. So that's why we ended up going
that
down.
Van ended up in a...
It was
you talking about you getting
no, not the wagon, bro. Not that van. He talking about the Astro van.
Oh.
No. So we ended up going to see a lawyer to file bankruptcy.
We were both on the file so that we could clear up everything from our previous marriage.
He literally sitting in there and he like, listen.
So are y'all really planning on getting married? Like, is that something that's going to inevitably happen anyway? And then what'd he say? Come on. Oh, so I can't wait till you watch this back tomorrow and you see how often you interrupt me. That's what I want you to see when you watch back tomorrow.
I just be wanting to make sure.
I can go to bed. You already know my bedtime is 10 o'clock. The Simpsons are on, bro.
Jesus. So, we are filing for bankruptcy. So, he wanted to know if we were going to make the decision to do them separately because it was going to cost so much more.
He was going to pay double.
To do separately than it would cost us to do it together. So he like, are y'all planning on getting married? And we like, yeah. You know, eventually he was like, well, I'm going to tell you this. If you plan on getting married, if you're going to do it anyway, you might as well do it now. Then you'll be legally married. And then y'all can file all of this stuff together and get rid of all of your debt together. And it'll be much more cost effective. So we looked at each other like, I mean, we getting married anyway.
Right.
And so we made the decision, like, okay, we're going to get married.
He like, all right, get married, come back and see me.
Yeah, so we make the decision we're going to get married. What we tell each other is, okay, well, here's what we'll do. We'll go down to the courthouse, we'll get married, and we'll be married for a year. And if it works out, then we'll have a wedding on the anniversary date next year.
Right.
If it doesn't, we can get a divorce. Nobody's the wiser. Nobody's hurt. Nobody's, drawn into the relationship more than they already are. And nobody hurt but us. So we like, cool. So we go down to the courthouse, get everything together, and then we get married September 10th of 2009. We go down there.
And I never remember the year.
Yeah, she can't remember the year. September 10th, 2009, we get married at the courthouse. We leave the courthouse, and we go down to Potawatomi to celebrate our wedding. I had $40 to my name. I gave her $20. I took $20. I said, let's go down here. We'll feed some machines and enjoy the after of our wedding, our marriage. So we go down there. I almost killed the man on the way down there. We go in there. We in a high stakes room. She put in her $20. I put in mine. We playing Wheel of Fortune. I hit my $20 going like this. So all of a sudden we hear, it's going, the machine going off. I'm freaking out. I look over at her. She's sitting there like this.
I don't gamble.
She don't know what's going on. I'm like, you hit. I think she hit for like $950 off of that $20. So we had a little money. It all worked out good. But so we going right up until the wedding. So we didn't tell nobody. Didn't tell our parents.
I got a tattoo.
Didn't tell the. Oh, that's right. We went and got your tattoo covered up. She had a tattoo with her ex-husband's name on it.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing she wanted to do was go get that covered. So we went to a tattoo place and got that done. So we ended up getting married. Didn't tell nobody. Her mama was so mad when she found out. She's still mad right now to this day. I'm so sick of this.
Right now, she mad.
Her mom was mad about this.
But what we did do during that time is we did try a few marriage counselors.
Yeah.
Because we did acknowledge the fact that we went out of these crappy marriages and jumped right into this boat.
We found a few. My wife is not very wedding counselor friendly.
I'm very wedding counselor friendly. Me and Paul got along.
Paul wasn't a wedding counselor. He wasn't a marriage counselor.
I just know he was counseling us together. That was way later on.
Yeah, that was he was my counselor for everything that happened.
Remember, first he called. We went to see him together, and then he told me I didn't have to come back. He needed to work with you.
Yeah, well,
that was later on.
We didn't go see.
That's way later.
I looked him. Okay.
That's way later. We went to see the white lady on the east side. That might as well have said 1, 2, 3, fight.
So
see you next week.
Here's the dumbest thing that as a marriage counselor that you can do. I think. So we go and see this little Jewish white lady.
Yeah, Jewish lady.
And she is like, I mean, she's good at what she does. She just didn't know how to time. I'm sure there was a method to her madness. She didn't know how to time it right. When you have a counseling session, the best thing to do is to, ease your way into whatever this situation is, get to the meat of it, and then have a resolution at the end of the meeting.
All in this hour. And
to have some type of something for you to work on, so that when you come back next week, we can talk about it. She would literally pussyfoot around for like the first 45 minutes. The next 10 minutes, she would dig in there and snatch out all the nasty, dirty stuff, and then be like, okay, well, we're going to schedule next week. So now we both in a heated stage. We mad at each other. We arguing in this freaking meeting, and now you sending us off into the world with this fire that we have now. And so we would leave there and just be arguing in the parking lot. It was just bad. She was terrible at her job. She was terrible. She probably was good for Holocaust victims. Not for
I want to say we saw somebody else too. I can't remember who.
I don't remember.
During that time.
I don't remember.
But nobody really stuck. We did go and try.
We did try. Yeah. So
we did.
Yeah.
We made it to the year.
We made it through the year.
Our kids must have mentioned to the people at daycare that we was gonna have a wedding. Hey, Alyssa.
It's Alyssa.
Hey, Alyssa.
Alyssa, come here once.
I got to pee.
Oh God.
I'm tired of her.
She always went to the last moment until she got pee. She don't never have any room.
Ever since she was little.
Ever since she was a little
tight.
So we made it through the year, and so we
about 6 months in, maybe we started.
We started planning our wedding, and so
we should stop right here.
No,
we should let you have the wedding episode.
I want to say one thing about the wedding. So my first wedding.
That's how she didn't make no more money, Lynn and Gwen.
Yeah,
she tried it.
She was trash. my first wedding, I wasn't a part of the planning process, so I didn't know nothing about wedding. I just showed up and I got my tux. So this wedding, I was more hands-on. So we had a wedding planner, and so the wedding planner comes over to the house. We actually just talked about this the other day, and wedding planner comes over. They talking about ideas about the wedding. I'm sitting back, and so the wedding planner asks a question like, "So how much are you guys budgeting for the wedding?" Me, in my brain, I'm about to say the most baller number I could think of, because I want to be so baller. I want this wedding planner to go back and tell her husband, there is a nigga out there that is so much better than you are when it comes to weddings and paying for them. So they look over at me and say, what we gonna budget for the wedding? I get dignified and sit back in my seat, and I was like, $1,500.
I want y'all to keep in mind the fact that we got 6 kids between the two of us. He got 4, I got 2. So if we just dressing them and him and me,
$1,500.
which luckily we'll talk.
So simultaneously they looked at each other, and then both looked back at me, and then looked back at each other and burst out laughing out loud. And I'm like, what y'all laughing about?
You dodged the whole camera. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
Hi, Lisa Pool.
What was the best oatmeal y'all ever had?
Mine, the one that me and my siblings made.
See? Hold on. They said that's the best oatmeal ever.
It wasn't even soup.
It was undone oatmeal soup.
Live oats.
They ate it.
And butter.
They made it.
And water.
Even though we almost died in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
It was worth it for this oatmeal.
So
y'all want to wake up?
Well,
I'll sleep.
I would sleep with her.
You don't care now. You'll starve.
So, yeah. So I say $1,400. They bust out laughing at me. I'm like, what is y'all laughing at? Like, it's so funny that y'all ain't never heard an amount this high. Y'all ain't never seen a barter like this before. So then it had to break down the realization that was.
We was having this outside in the park in our 4th of July outfits from last year.
Yeah, so.
And eating hot dogs from Save-A-Lot.
Once they told me what it really was going to cost to pull this off.
With no condiment.
Like, I started thinking about stripping, selling sperm, anything, bro. Yeah, $1,500, bro. That's what I thought I was changing the world. Nobody had ever. This was gonna be like a MTV wedding, right? I didn't know. Had no idea. I know now. So then once they kind of told me what it was gonna cost, like I literally I was donating stem cell. I was trying to do everything I could to gain any little money we could to try to pay for this wedding, because my baby, she had a dream wedding.
Did she?
She did. You did.
In the beginning.
And then some black nigga came in and took over and turned it into the most awesome wedding ever. Ain't that right, Dante? The most awesome wedding. No, you better not say that, bro, because your wife might think y'all's is the most awesome, even though we know it wasn't. But I'll let you have it because I don't want you to get in trouble. We had the most awesome wedding ever. I should upload it to our YouTube. So I should do that. So we will come back Saturday, because we're going to end it here, because we've been on here for an hour and a half.
30 minutes longer than we were supposed to be.
We're never going to get straight. Listen, I was trying to do whatever I could.
Well, thank you, Dante.
What'd he say?
Said he knew we were dope, but we are very entertaining. This is real life.
Appreciate
Dante.
it, bro. Listen, this ain't even half of it. We try to keep all of the minute stuff out, so because we will be here forever. Y'all see, we be here an hour and a half and just barely be scratching the surface of stuff and like really getting into the details.
Like that
and
one
stuff.
Saturday episode we had when we left here, and then went and sat and talked about, had people ask questions for the next 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
To dig in further.
Yeah, because I'm so sick of this. I'm buying a camera. I'm tired of this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Mickey, go watch them. The YouTube is posted. It's
pinned.
pinned.
So you
to
just
the
hit
page,
that,
so
it'll
you
take
can
you
go
right
back
to
and
the
catch
YouTube. All of the other episodes are not this heavy.
Right, but but we live in real life, so there are going to be some episodes that are heavier than others.
Yeah, everything is absolutely 100, no cut. So we're gonna go into the the actual wedding itself and all of the shenanigans that led up to that. The wedding planner. The wedding venues. The awesome thing that her
maybe
bride...
that was because you said 1,500. Now that I think about it,
No, because then we decided on a number.
we went back and fixed
Yeah,
it.
we decided on a number which was not $1,500. Yeah, no, she just it was what it was.
We'll be back Saturday.
So yeah, we're gonna come back
Oh,
Saturday.
you're supposed to be.
Yeah, we're gonna do this giveaway. So, how should we do it? How many? We got 8, 9 people here.
Listen, Gwen, you and I know that we need an outline,
So here's the thing.
but we don't take the time, the two of us, to sit down and make that happen. But you and I know that we need one, especially if we're gonna hit that hour mark. And I just want y'all to, the next time we on here, I want y'all to just, we gonna come up with a emoji that y'all can put up when he interrupt me, because dude really think that he don't do that.
It's not that I don't think I do that.
I can't wait till you listen. Just listen tomorrow and see all the minute details you shared. Now I do this giveaway so that I can go to bed.
You know,
I love you so much.
No, you don't.
So I do.
No,
I
you
love
don't.
I love you.
All right. Let's see. What can we do? All right. We're gonna do the same thing we did last time. Oh, I tell you what. Here's what we'll do. It's 9 of y'all, right? Mm-hmm. No, we're gonna do it right here. We're gonna do it right here.
So we can do it.
All right. So I want y'all to pick a number. We'll do 1 through 20 again. But the number, you have to go and leave a question in my inbox for us to cover on our Q&A show.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, so we're gonna pick the number, and you have to be qualified. You have to make sure that you have a question.
Why don't they send the questions, and then everybody that sends a question, you take their name down and put them in the hat, and we'll draw it live somewhere between. They need to leave it by Thursday at noon.
Okay.
And we'll come on Friday and draw it live, and Saturday we'll deliver their Visa gift card.
See how people be thinking you punking me? This is why people think
night, nigga.
Think. This is why people think the way they think.
Well, I mean, I thought I had already been really sweet to Dante. So once he said that I was rough,
yeah, they see
gloves off.
They see beyond your facade.
I'm really sweet. Precious.
Oh, I'm confused. Okay, all right, here we go. So.
No, pick a number.
We're not gonna pick a number.
Send messages where you want them to send.
Go to my inbox.
Your inbox or PBNJ inbox?
I think you can send a message to PBNJ. So go to the inbox and leave a question for us to do for our question and answer.
Everybody that leaves a question will be entered into a drawing to win a Visa gift card for how much?
We'll do two $50 gift cards. You think?
So now you're going from 1 to 2. All
I
right.
thought you said
Let's
2
do
at the
it.
beginning of the
I
show.
clearly said 1, but I can't wait to go back and watch
Oh,
it.
we
But
finna
can do
we
2.
finna start this right soon as we hang up with this,
You
so I
can
can
do
show you
whatever
that
you
you said 2.
All right, whatever. Say what you whatever. Whatever.
It was 2. Thank you, Sherelle.
It's after my bedtime.
Thank you, Sherelle. I appreciate you being honest and not doing that girl power.
It's after
thing.
my bedtime.
So yeah, so we'll do. You want to do 225s or 250?
No, 250.
We'll do $250 gift Visa gift cards, and then we'll ask a question to be nosy.
We will go live.
Y'all said 2. Thank you, Lynn. Y'all see, that's y'all nosy and attentive. That's dope.
It's after my bedtime.
You hang up on videos, I will pop you.
Any question that we
It don't matter. Nope.
Answer.
Whatever you want to ask, we open books.
It's so odd to hear you say that.
We open, but yeah, because I wasn't always an open book. I used to be four $25 gift cards. She's trying to
Spread out the chances.
no.
Two
we're doing
$50
two
gift cards.
gift cards.
I wanted to count.
Sticking to 2 this time.
And we're gonna do the drawing live.
Yeah.
Everybody's name will go into a hat. One of
Yeah,
your
it
hats.
shouldn't. Listen, by what's tomorrow?
You wanna do
Wednesday?
Thursday night or you wanna
we should
do-
just do tomorrow. You give you by close of business tomorrow,
Let's close the business.
5 o'clock.
Okay.
By 5 o'clock tomorrow,
Leave your question.
leave your question. We will pick from the people who write their questions, and then we'll do a drawing live once I get off tomorrow, and pull a name, and then we'll deliver on Saturday and make another video. So with that being said, y'all make sure y'all go like and subscribe to the YouTube page if you haven't already. Do you think it's all right to threaten relatives on national television?
Did you threaten her?
I didn't threaten anybody. I didn't threaten anyone. Go like and subscribe. Check out the content. Check out the new video we just put up. We will have some more YouTube, just stuff on YouTube that won't be here on Facebook.
YouTube exclusive
Yeah,
content.
there you go. I heard a crispy $100 bill. Oh, see, now your other answer not gonna be valid because now you stretching right now. So, yeah. So go like and subscribe. Check out the content and make sure y'all do that. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Anything you got?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, man. Thank y'all for being nosy with PBNJ. This was Tuesday Tales. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us, and
We like you too, Lynn.
yeah. Listen, I
We
absolutely
enjoyed partying with you for Gwen's
yeah.
birthday.
So listen, no,
So
it wasn't
you always
Gwen's birthday.
welcome.
That was
Not
Kim's
Kim's birthday.
That like literally, I fell in love with Lynn
There's tequila
right
in my
away.
pineapple, people.
right away. So
That's why I can't remember
we
too.
think you super dope too.
Yeah.
So we will check with y'all tomorrow, and
Good night.
We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We at.